If making money was really about intelligence or hard work, then why do some of the smartest, hardest working people you know still live paycheck to paycheck, while others quietly build wealth without stress, without luck, and without showing off? I once met two people earning the same salary, around $70,000 a year. 10 years later, one was still worried about bills. The other had investments, peace of mind, and options. No lottery, no crypto miracle, no side hustle explosion. Just rules. Rules so simple that people ignore them. Rules so boring that they work. And today, I'm going to walk you through simple money rules that quietly separate people who stay stuck from people who eventually build real wealth. Some of the most important ones come later in the video. If you're serious about building wealth and breaking free from money problems, hit that subscribe button. We've got powerful content lined up to fuel your journey. Let's dive in. Rule 1. If you don't decide where money goes, it decides for you. Most people believe money disappears because life is expensive. That's comforting, but it's not true. Money usually disappears because it was never given instructions. There's a psychological concept called default behavior. When no decision is made, the brain chooses comfort. Food delivery, subscriptions, small upgrades. None of them feel dangerous alone. Together, they quietly destroy surplus. People think budgeting is restrictive, but what actually feels restrictive is not knowing where your money went. When money has no direction, it leaks into convenience. When it has direction, it compounds. The shift happens when you stop asking, "Can I afford this?" and start asking, "Did I plan for this?" One simple decision, assigning money a role before it arrives, creates a surprising sense of control. Suddenly, spending doesn't feel guilty. Saving doesn't feel forced. Investing doesn't feel risky. There's a line from the book, Your Money or Your Life, that hits hard. Money is something you trade your life energy for. When you see money that way, random spending feels different. And here's the thing, people who master this rule don't feel deprived. They feel calm, because when money obeys structure, stress loses power. Rule 2. Pay your future self before you pay your present emotions. Many people save what's left. Wealthy people live on what's left. That single inversion changes everything. When money hits your account, your brain immediately starts negotiating with your future. I'll invest next month. I deserve this now. I'll be serious later. But later never comes. People who automate saving and investing build 3-4x more wealth than those who rely on willpower alone. Why? Because willpower gets tired. Systems don't. The moment you treat your future self like a bill that must be paid, everything changes. Investments stop feeling optional. Savings stop feeling negotiable. Doing well with money has little to do with intelligence and a lot to do with behavior. Your future self is either being funded or ignored. Even small numbers matter here. Investing $500 a month at an average market return can grow to over $1 million in 30 years. Not because the amount is huge, but because consistency is. People wait for motivation. Wealth comes from defaults. And once this rule is in place, something strange happens. Your lifestyle naturally adjusts downward without pain, which leads directly to the next rule, the one that protects you from lifestyle inflation, the silent killer of high earners. Number 3, upgrade your assets before you upgrade your lifestyle. Lifestyle upgrades feel like success, but they often lock you into financial pressure. Cars, bigger homes, expensive habits, they don't just cost money once. They demand maintenance, insurance, time, and mental bandwidth. A study found that households earning over $150,000 still report financial stress at nearly the same rate as middle-income families. The difference? Fixed commitments. Wealth grows best when your income grows faster than your lifestyle. That doesn't mean living poorly. It means delaying upgrades until assets can pay for them. There's a quiet confidence that comes from knowing your investments, not your job, are responsible for your comfort. The book Die with Zero makes an interesting point. It's not about never enjoying money. It's about enjoying it at the right time. Most people flip that order. When you invest first, enjoyment becomes sustainable instead of stressful. And here's the open loop most people don't see. Once assets start covering expenses, time becomes your biggest return. Never rely on one source of income for security. A job feels stable until it isn't. History has proven this repeatedly. Entire industries disappear. Companies downsize overnight. Skills become outdated faster than people expect. True financial security comes from diversification, not just in investments, but in income. This doesn't mean working endlessly. It means building income streams that are not tied to your daily presence. Dividends, royalties, equity, interest, scalable digital assets. Even an extra $500 a month from a secondary source dramatically changes decision-making. It reduces fear. It increases patience. In Rich Dad's Guide to Investing, there's a powerful line. The richest people in the world look for and build networks. Everyone else looks for work. Income diversity gives you leverage. And once you experience that leverage, you'll never look at money the same way again. But income alone doesn't build wealth. What you do with surplus does. Rule 5. Saving is not wealth. Converting cash is. Saving feels responsible. But cash that just sits still is silently shrinking. Inflation erodes purchasing power every year. At just 3% inflation, 100,000 loses nearly $26,000 in real value over a decade. Cash is temporary. Its job is to be converted. Wealth grows when money is deployed into productive assets. Stocks, businesses, real estate, funds, systems that grow without constant effort. Fear keeps people stuck here. Fear of losing, fear of volatility, fear of not understanding enough. But risk doesn't disappear by avoiding it. It just changes form. The bigger risk is doing nothing. Time is your friend. Impulse is your enemy. Money that stays idle becomes fragile. And once you understand this, you stop asking, is this risky? And start asking, what's the cost of inaction? Rule 6. The market doesn't reward speed. It rewards staying power. People secretly believe wealth comes from catching the right moment, the perfect entry, the perfect stock, the perfect year. That belief alone wipes out more money than bad investments ever could. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Money grows not because you move fast, but because you stayed long enough. There was a long-term study that showed investors who traded frequently earned 30 to 40% lower returns than those who barely touched their portfolios. Not because they were wrong all the time, but because they reacted emotionally at the wrong time. Fear made them exit early. Greed made them enter late. The market doesn't punish ignorance as much as it punishes impatience. The psychology of money explains that the biggest advantage in investing isn't intelligence or information. It's the ability to sit still while others lose control. When you understand this, money stops feeling urgent. You stop obsessing over daily movements. You stop checking prices like they define your worth. Rule 7. Money leaks fastest when it's trying to look impressive. Some expenses don't buy comfort. They buy validation. And validation is one of the most expensive addictions ever created. Luxury cars, designer brands, over-upgraded lifestyles, they feel like success, but they behave like liabilities. They demand upkeep, attention, and constant replacement. What starts as a reward slowly turns into pressure. Here's the irony most people miss. The people you're trying to impress usually aren't watching, and the ones who are watching aren't building wealth. Research consistently shows that people who spend heavily on visible status items save less, invest later, and experience higher financial stress, even when their income rises. Real wealth doesn't announce itself. It accumulates quietly while attention is elsewhere. Once you stop using money as proof, it becomes a tool again. A tool that buys flexibility, time, and peace instead of applause. Rule 8. You don't build wealth first. You become the person who does. Money follows identity. People who see themselves as spenders behave differently under pressure than people who see themselves as builders. The numbers look the same, but the decisions don't. This is why temporary strategies fail. If your identity doesn't change, old habits eventually pull you back. Wealthy thinking isn't about positivity. It's about self-image. I'm someone who plans. I'm someone who thinks long-term. I'm someone who doesn't trade peace for impulse. People with a long-term identity don't rely on motivation. They rely on alignment. Once wealth becomes part of who you are, not just something you want, you stop fighting yourself. Decisions feel lighter. Temptations lose power. Progress feels natural instead of forced. These rules don't make you rich overnight. They make it almost impossible to stay broke over time. And if you apply even a few of them consistently, a year from now, your financial life will look calmer, stronger, and far more in control than it does today. If this video resonated with you, don't keep the knowledge to yourself. Like the video, subscribe to stay updated, and share is a step toward building a stronger community of growth-minded people. Be part of it. Now, if you really want to level up, don't miss this next video. Let's continue there.